So I finally had my first annual checkup in about 3 years, and to be honest, it felt like a bit of a non-event. I mean, there's nothing wrong with me, which is great, but it also made me wonder if it was all just a waste of time. It was a bit awkward just sitting there telling the doctor I felt fine. However, there was one thing that caught my attention. I received my results of my blood test, and it turns out I'm on the borderline of having high cholesterol. My cholesterol level came back at 208 milligrams per deciliter, just slightly above the acceptable range of less than or equal to 200 milligrams per deciliter. Now, I'm only 25, so having borderline high cholesterol at this age is a bit concerning. It looks like I'll have to make some changes to my diet to lower it, so I guess more salmon and other fatty fishes for me. So, big news. I finally got a raise. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride though. The company hasn't been doing so hot lately. We missed our sales goals for about 10 out of the 12 months in our fiscal year. They even had to lay off both global and US sales directors. But during my performance review, they initially told me that I wouldn't be getting a raise due to the company's overall performance. I had numerous one-on-one meetings with my manager, but still no luck. I was beyond frustrated since, I literally launched one of the most successful products in recent company history. So I impulsively booked a one-way flight to Daytona for a week to just blow off steam. When I returned though, things took a turn. Suddenly they said they'll give me a raise. I'm still waiting on the exact numbers, but hey, it's progress. Who knew raises were still possible in 2024? I'll be sure to keep you all updated once I get the specifics. On my quest to find a new job, I found myself an opportunity in Reno, Nevada, where I could get a manager title and a significant pay increase. Plus, if I last at this company for a good 2 to 3 years, I could probably use the name of the company as a door opener for future job opportunities. Luckily, I got an interview, but it's just a first phone interview with the HR team at the company. Still, it's something. The only downside is living in Reno. This place is hot, like it's going over 100 degrees Fahrenheit this summer. Can I actually survive that heat? They say it's a dry heat, but man, Nevada is disgustingly hot in the summer. Also, I bet the food scene pales in comparison to Chicago's. I love the diverse and rich food culture in Chicago, and I'm worried I won't find the same variety and quality in Reno. On top of that, gas is like $5 a gallon, but hey, no income tax, am I right? Anyways, if you're a Reno local, let me know of some good neighborhoods so I can start apartment searching. I'm looking for somewhere nice, maybe some good local eats, and a community feel. So I work at a company that's based in Germany, and the German headquarters just filed for a provisional insolvency. Apparently the German headquarters don't have full ownership of the US headquarters, which is still profitable. Therefore, two things might happen. The German headquarters could lease some of its space out and conduct layoffs on their side, or they could potentially look for a sale of the company. The North America CEO said everything will operate as usual and that we'll still be getting our raises, but who knows what will actually happen. Is anyone familiar with German insolvency laws? Given the uncertainty, I'm wondering if I should start looking for another job. It's a stressful situation, and while the US branch is doing well now, the future is kind of uncertain. Any advice or insights would be greatly appreciated. Should I stick it out and see what happens, or start exploring other opportunities just to be safe? With the parent company I work at declaring insolvency over in Germany, I've started to re-enter the job market. Depending on who takes over the company, I might get laid off if there's a duplicate counterpart due to the merger. But man, is the job market depressing. On LinkedIn, you see job posts with 100 applicants, and I know if I apply, probably some AI might filter me out before a human even sees my resume. Then there are these dodgy recruiters who are suspicious at best, and they constantly spam you. When I do get an interview, it's often a grueling 5-step process with homework or projects assigned to me. It's like they expect me to do all of this for free. The frustrating part is, after putting in all that effort, they often ghost you and just say, oh, they're gonna move on to another applicant without even giving you feedback on how to improve. But yeah, it's a numbers game, so I just need to keep grinding and hope for the best. Man, hiring managers drive me crazy. I had a phone interview scheduled at 10:30. Naturally, I was all prepped, got my notes pulled up on my computer screen, and stared at my phone 5 minutes before 10:30. When it became 10:30, there was no call. I thought the hiring manager might be a few minutes late, but as minutes passed, it was 10:40 and I started to panic. Did she forget? Should I call her myself since her number was in her email? Should I email her? Eventually, I decided to email her. The funny thing is, she responded back at 11:15 asking if we could call now. The original phone interview was supposed to end at 11, and now she wants me to hop on. It's so frustrating. Job searching is tough enough without this kind of stress, but man, hiring managers really drive me crazy. Hey everyone, just a quick life update. How's everybody doing? I hope you're all well. As for me, I'm just vibing, going through the motions. I've officially sent out my 50th job application, and honestly, it's been quite demoralizing. Besides that, I've got about a month to secure a new job before we find out who the new owners are. I'm trying to preemptively avoid getting laid off since my role might become redundant. I'm casting a wide net, applying to new positions all over the US, so there's a chance I might be leaving Illinois soon, which is pretty exciting. On a brighter note, I'm planning a quick trip to Florida, which should be really interesting. I'm heading back to Orlando. Despite its lack of walkability, it's an amazing place with all its amusement parks and restaurants. It's just perfect for a getaway. I'm looking forward to it, honestly. Well, that's it for now. I hope everyone is well and staying positive out there. Here's a quick update on my job search journey. I managed to land an interview with a position that aligns well with my experience in the biotech sector. Interestingly, it involves leading a new automation department as the product manager, which really piqued my interest. Initially, I was skeptical about even getting an interview because, the job listing mentioned a requirement of 10 years of experience. However, it turns out that the company also felt that was also a bit of a stretch. My first interview with the company recruiter went smoothly, followed by a meeting with one of the hiring managers. That went well too, but then I found out that he's actually like a VP and they haven't even hired my direct boss who I would be reporting to. It's a bit of an unusual situation. Chain of command is supposedly that executive, then my future boss, and then me. But since, they haven't hired my boss, they've asked me to be patient. But yeah, fingers crossed they don't lead me on without an offer at the end. But for now, the search continues. I don't even know where to start, man. Like, my head's just about ready to explode. My company just got bought out and they've already laid off 50 people in Germany, but that's not even the worst part. The worst part is, I just finished the final panel of 3 interviews for this new job I was looking at. The first 2 went pretty well, but the last one, it was a disaster, and none of it was even my fault. Like, the interviewer didn't even turn on his camera, so I was literally talking to a blank screen with the first letter of his name on it the whole time. I couldn't even read his body language or tell if he was paying attention, so I couldn't even adjust my responses. Then at the end, I asked, if I could address any concerns, and he just goes, "Nah, you hit all the right points, but you don't have enough experience, but there's nothing you can do about it." I'm like, seriously, why am I even in this interview process then? Why are you wasting my time? We've been at this for at least 3 weeks, but yeah, thanks for nothing. These interviewers, man, they're just whack. I honestly can't remember the last time I went to the movies. It's been quite a while. These days, there's just something about watching a movie from the comfort of my own home that seems way more appealing. I mean, sure, you miss out on that full cinematic experience like watching Oppenheimer in IMAX with those crazy surround sound speakers that make you feel every explosion, but even that hasn't been enough to get me back into the theater seat. That said, I'm definitely interested in Deadpool 3, especially with, Wolverine making an appearance. I've always been a huge fan of both characters, so, just seeing them together on screen is pretty exciting. Unfortunately, I've already had a few spoilers thrown my way thanks to YouTube Shorts, but those camera reveals were really interesting. But even with the spoilers, I think I'm gonna just wait until it comes out to one of those streaming services. It's hard to really justify the whole trip to the theater when I can stay and relax at home and stream it and really just enjoy it at my own pace without dealing with crowds or overpriced snacks.